It's not live, but it's lively. Welcome to the Evermore Studio. And your host, 𝗩𝗘𝗡𝗗𝗃.
Welcome to Vendor Spotlight, bringing you the very best in insurance technology. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking very smart today, Ed. Well, I went out last week and I'm compensating. I went out and bought a multi-pack of tracksuit bottoms for all this homeworking we're doing, and I felt I needed to scrub myself up for my own, sense of worth. So you're benefiting from this. Please let me know if you think it's an improvement in the comments below. But what we must do, of course, for Vendor Spotlight is we need to usher down our Screen of Wonder. So please, Screen of Wonder, do come and join us in the Evermore studio. And the person joining me on the Screen to Wonder today was the absolute first person to reach out to me when I did my Open to Work initiative with Jim Glover. I think it took her about 11 seconds to be in my DMs saying, how can I help? How can I support this? So she has a soft spot in my heart. Please welcome Kate Cordell from Expleo Group. Kate, welcome.
Ed, nice to see you, and I'm loving the shirt and tie combo.
Thank you very much. I feel quite swanky.
You look quite swanky.
Oh, thank you very much. I like it, and also the tie hides the belly a little bit, which I like. It's an added bonus.
It's so your very own. You're a very own James Corden.
I am. I'd like to think I'm a slightly
Svelter.
Spelter, yes, spelt is a good word. Thank you for bailing me out of that. But tell me about your journey into insurance.
So my journey into insurance is relatively new. I've been in relation to by way of introduction, I'm a senior account director at a firm called Expleo. I look after our insurance clients. How I got here, I've been in account management for 15 years, worked in financial services for all those years, but been more on the banking side, so retail banking, investment banking. Joined Expleo coming up for 2 years now and started leading our insurance sector about a year ago probably. Got a great portfolio of clients, but really working hard to expand my network and kind of get the Expleo story and the Expleo capabilities out there.
Well, hopefully we can help with that today with your 5 killer questions.
Yes,
that should
I'm
get
ready.
The story out there. If it hasn't, I've failed abysmally.
Well, so have I.
Perfect. So are you ready for your 5 questions?
Let's go for it.
Amazing. So question 1, what do you do and how does it help the insurance industry?
So I think to put it really simply, we de-risk change. So we make business and technology change work by ensuring its quality, and we tend to do that by kind of really testing it rigorously. So I think there's a recognition in Expleo that change can be really daunting. It's not something that people do every day. It's significant, it's expensive. And if it's done right, it's going to have a really kind of big positive impact both internally and externally. So we give our clients confidence in their change by independently assuring it. So we have end-to-end quality assurance frameworks, methodology, tooling, people who are just kind of first class in their field. And actually part of our research has shown that the kind of testing is going to be about 30-40% of your program spend. So it's not an exciting spend, we do recognise that, but it is a necessary spend if you want to get your change right first time, and we help clients do that. So we help them get it right, make sure it's working, and make sure it's the quality that they need it to be, and that ultimately they're paying for it to be as well.
Perfect. And what's the element of that offering of which you're most proud?
So I think there's 2 things. So the first was one that really stuck out to me throughout my kind of interview process with Expleo. And that is we are genuinely independent. We have no allegiance with kind of tech providers, no allegiance with system integrators, so therefore we've got no conflict of interest. We might have a view on your partner that you've chosen, and we'll quite happily share our thoughts based on past experience. But we are genuinely agnostic as to kind of who we test and who we assure. Our focus is solely on making sure that things are working for you as they're meant to. I think the other thing that I really like, and it's something that's actually really kind of been brought to bear with my clients and talking to them about what they get from Expleo. And actually Expleo is a really kind of global organisation. There's 15,000 of us across 30 countries. We've got a revenue of €1 billion a year, so we are significant. But actually most of that is in the engineering division. I sit in quality and management consultancy, but we are global. So we have a real depth and breadth of experience, can really kind of bring efficiencies and scale to our clients. But what I really, really like is, despite the size that we are, we still guarantee that the team you meet through, I suppose, the sales process, the sales pitch, is the team that you ultimately work with. So there's no A team turning up to do your kind of sales presentation and the grad team turns up on Monday at 9 o'clock. The team that you meet throughout the process is the team that sits down and work with you. And the people that we are, that we sit down with you and that work, and the team that kind of comes and works with you are genuinely brilliant at what they do. We don't do quality assurance because we have to. It's not our value add. It is our core business. And we do it because we're good at it, we enjoy it, and ultimately, it brings real confidence to clients.
Perfect. I think we've all seen that with the grad team coming out after having seen the A team.
Who are you?
Absolutely. Well, anyone at home who's a fan will recognise, and by that I mean, hi mum, lovely of you to watch. We're going to change the questions round slightly going forward, because I want them to be in a slightly more positive order. So the next question, just to throw you off, is what does your typical customer look like?
So I think our typical customer is genuinely anyone that is going through any sort of change. So whether that's business change or IT change, and wants to make sure it's a quality change with a quality outcome. So there's no real kind of, typical size or shape. If you are going through change, then do, reach out and we can help you. The only thing I would ask is that we are brought in sooner than you think you kind of would need to bring us in. 70% of defects actually exist at the requirements gathering stage. So when you're working out what you want your change to look like. And obviously the earlier that you find a change, the quicker and easier and cheaper it is to fix that change. We're talking £1,000 per error in requirement stage, anything up to kind of £50,000-90,000 once you're kind of in UAT, which is user acceptance testing, which is where the business users sit down and say, oh yeah, this works or it doesn't, or heaven forbid, when it's actually gone into live in the public domain. So you are talking really significant cost saving. So don't bring us in just at the point it's not feeling quite right, or even when it's all going horribly wrong. Bring us in early. We are way more effective. And the quality of that end product is going to be so much better as well.
Brilliant. And so this is the one that we've moved forward slightly. So what's the greatest not greatest weakness, sounds bizarre. I'm going to reword that. What's your best weakness? And what's that weakness in your offering that you are aware of that you're working on?
So I'm not quite sure that it would be described as a weakness, but the thing that we are asked, do we do, and the answer is no, is we don't do development and we don't do build. That's not to say we won't in the future, but right now it's not where we are. We're here to make sure that other people's change works really well, and we do that really well. So development and build isn't our space at the moment.
Perfect. And the final question, to end on a positive.
Yep.
What's the biggest success story you've had at Expleo?
So I think generally Expleo is genuinely involved in really exciting things. So my absolute favourite, which is nothing to do with insurance, is the last NASA mission to Mars. So in 2018, Expleo was responsible for assuring the quality of that main payload of that mission, which was a tool that measured seismic activity on the planet. So way above kind of my understanding, but actually I really, really like that story. But other things that we've worked on that I think kind of your viewers will recognise, we worked on the rollout of smart metering in the UK, partnered with car manufacturers on cyber security, worked with a UK defence company on their nuclear submarines. So, really, really cool things. However, bringing it back to kind of financial services and in insurance, the work we did on Part 7 with Lloyd's of London was just phenomenal. It was a massively complex programme, a lot of players in it, a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving dates, a significant amount of data. And Expleo was front and centre of making sure that it all worked, and not only worked, but worked properly and worked on time. And given the timing of lockdown 1, actually we did the vast majority of it from dining room tables, spare bedrooms, and the team was just phenomenal. I would challenge anyone to find a better team than the Expleo one on that programme. Case study coming soon.
I like it. That does feel better for ending on a positive,
It does,
right?
yeah, rather than what makes you rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a good suggestion. I like that. Well, the stressful bit's over now. We just go to the fun, silly questions about you, which are, we no longer pretend are randomly generated. But I'm gonna have to pick some. I'm gonna have to pick something up now to read these. Consider this like my cards that I would have if it was a real TV show. Yeah, absolutely. So, question number 1. Are you ready?
Go for it.
I should ask. Greatest actor of all time?
Guy Pearce. I've liked every single movie he's been in. Really versatile. And if you haven't seen Memento, you need to.
Such a good film.
It's
definitely in my top 3, I think it would have to be.
Yeah. Memento, Usual Suspects, A Life Less Ordinary, which is an unknown Ewan McGregor Cameron Diaz one.
Excellent. Well, there's some movies for you to go and watch.
There you go.
Question number 2. Who would play you in the story of your life?
I would love to say Sandra Bullock because I just really like her. She's really feisty, kick-ass. But I think more realistically, Kate Winslet.
Excellent. I think my favourite story with Sandra Bullock was when she won one of the Razzies, which are like the Your Film Was Awful awards, and she turned up to actually accept the award.
All due respect to her.
I just thought that was class and gave a very funny speech at it as well. So, good choice. Question number 3. InsurTech with or without an E?
I'm going to have to say it pains me, but without.
Why does it pain you?
Oh, the pedantic in me just is... Why drop just a single letter? It's not like fintech, which is a clear abbreviation. You're just dropping a letter to try and be young and funky.
Ooh, controversial one.
Comments below.
Comments below. Do you agree? Question number 4. What is the soundtrack to your life?
Oh, Electric Dreams by Phil Oakley. Favourite song. Always has been. Yeah, awesome.
Excellent. Question 5. Dream board member.
Oh, a really strong female CEO. So Jane Fraser, newly appointed to City Global, September last year. I think it's an awesome appointment. We need more women board members, generally.
Amen. Favourite other insurance entity?
Favourite other... Do you know what? A kind of organisation that I came across early in my journey into insurance is the Camelot Network. Set up by David Clamp, who's ex-CIO of Hiscox, which is one of my clients. David himself is phenomenal, but just everyone that I have met at the Camelot Network has just been, they're brilliant at what they do, but really, really supportive with their time, their knowledge, their contact list, their ideas. Just a really supportive, collaborative network of people, which is how you and I met, Ed.
It was how you and I met.
It was one of those
card-carrying member right here, and I can agree with everything you've said. I think it's an incredible network.
Brilliant.
Even as a member, I've learnt loads, and everyone's exactly the same internally as they are externally. So yeah, can't say enough good things about them. Question number 7: what would your superpower be?
My superpower would be I would be able to speak the language of any country that I landed in fluently.
Ooh,
I can just about get by, when you go on holiday and it's a table for 4 and a glass of wine and a plate of food, just about do that. But I would love to be fluent in wherever I was.
I can just about do that in England. I'm working on the other countries at the moment.
Sorry, by the time lockdown ends, it'll all be apps, so you won't need to speak to anyone.
Yeah. I think you can get that already. I'm sure I've seen it where you can talk into your phone and it translates to the other person.
Just being able to do that. Can you imagine? Like you land in Moscow and just suddenly you're fluent in Russian. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Which probably brings us nicely to question number 8. Greatest invention of all time.
It's got to be something like the internet or Apple phone. So actually, if you're going to go with the Apple phone, you need to go to the iPod, being the very first iteration of that type of thing. Just this mobile device that you just neatly carry with you. Yeah. Anyone who says differently is wrong.
Perfect, you're wrong. And everyone else who didn't answer that on this show was wrong. Just to be very clear. Question number 9. If you could have any 3 guests to a dinner party, who would they be?
So they would be David Attenborough. I mean, what a great man, and kind of the stories that he could tell you and the things he knows. Kirsty Allsop, So the one that does location,
I love
location,
Kirsty.
location. Well, I am convinced that when Kirsty and I meet, we will just become best friends, which is why she has to be at this dinner party. And my granddad, my pops. So he died about 10 years ago, but just one of the nicest men that you've ever met and the biggest flirt. So he'd love Kirsty as well.
She's my. I feel like it's. I can say weird celebrity crush because I'd imagine she's quite a bit older than me. Despite my
youthful looks.
Younger than I look. But yeah, she's my celebrity crush. I feel like she'd look after me. Maybe I've got mummy
Is that
issues.
what you've got? Well, yeah, I think Kirsty Allsop, Claudia Winkleman, and me would just be this trio that would be unstoppable.
That would be my 3 choices for my dinner party.
What, me,
Absolutely.
Kirsty, and Claudia?
Yeah, absolutely, and Claudia Winkleman. Although I would have to have words with her about her fringe. I twitch my eyes every time I see Claudia Winkleman's fringe. Mostly because I'm jealous because I have a 5 head. So yeah, it's embarrassing. Question number 10 and our final question. What is your favourite word in the English language?
Oh, favourite word? Onomatopoeia. I love it. Do you know what that means?
I do. My son, it's one of the words they taught him. So onomatopoeia, I believe, is words that sound like the thing that they're describing, right?
It's like hiss and bang. Great word. Great word.
My son learnt it at school last term and came home and used it in pretty much every sentence completely incorrectly for about 3 months. So,
Which is the joy of a 6-year-old.
Absolutely it is. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much. That is your quick fire round over.
Thank you.
You will be pleased to know that is
I'm
all of the
more
stress
relieved
done.
about that than I was my 5 killer questions.
Oh, that's good. We want to put you under pressure. I guess it's the difference between answering about yourself and answering about a company, which is slightly different. But thank you very much for your honesty and for your answers. If you enjoyed that, then please smash that like button, put down in the comments below. Share it to everybody. Share with your boss. Share with your banana bread. Share with that creepy guy who every time you looked at who viewed your profile on LinkedIn is there. Actually, on second thoughts, don't share anything with him. Just block and move on. But we greatly appreciate you watching the show. Thank you ever so much. But for now, it is goodbye from Kate Cordell at Expleo.
Bye!
And it is goodbye from me. Well, you're a glutton for punishment, staying all the way to the end, but I really appreciate it. Now, if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe over here, somewhere. Am I anywhere near it? Not sure. Or watch one of the extra videos up here. Peace! Pretty gangster. Yep. I'll be on that TikTok soon. Definitely.